Hello medicos, in this video I will be going to discuss about the anterior abdominal wall. First, see this image. We show the thorax region, abdominal region and pelvic region. First, we would like to learn about the planes. There are three planes. First is transpyloric plane, subcostal plane and intertubercular plane. First, we will learn about the transpyloric plane. Okay, this is a transpyloric plane. It is also known as Addison's plane, which present midpoint in between suprasternal notch to the pubic symphysis. It is an horizontal plane that passes through the lower border of L1 vertebra, which passes through the lower border of L1 vertebra. See here, this is vertebrae L1, L2, L3, L4 and L5. Okay, the transpyloric plane passes through the lower border of L1 vertebra, and the subcostal plane, see here, this is a subcostal plane which passes from the lower border of L2 vertebra, from the lower border of L2 vertebra. Okay. Next, the transtubercular plane, which passes upper border of L5 vertebra, which passes upper border of L5 vertebra. Okay. Coming to the transpyloric plane, the important thing is there are some questions asking regarding the transpyloric plane. What are the structures met at transpyloric plane? The structures met at transpyloric plane are lower border of L1 vertebra, tip of 9th costal cartilage, hilum of kidney, superior mesenteric artery originate from here, spinal cord terminate at L1 vertebra, fundus of gallbladder present here, pylorus of stomach is there, and portal veil formation is there. Okay, the structures met at transpyloric plane are lower border of L1 vertebra, tip of 9th costal cartilage, hilum of kidney, superior mesenteric artery origin, spinal cord termination, and fundus of gallbladder. Okay. Now, the transtubercular plane passes from the upper border of L5 vertebra, connect the two tubercles of iliac crest. Okay. Now, coming to the pelvic region, there are 9 regions. Okay. First, the line drawn from the mid-clavicular line. Two lines drawn. Okay. And this is a transpyloric plane. This is a transtubercular plane. Okay. There are 9 regions. First is right hypochondric region, left hypochondric region, epigastric region, right lumbar region, left lumbar region, umbilical region, right inguinal region, left inguinal region, and hypogastric region. Each region has their own significance. We will discuss in the later videos. Okay, coming to the layers of anterior abdominal wall. We have skin, superficial fascia. In superficial fascia, we have 2 layers, outer fatty layer and inner membranous layer. Outer fatty layers called camphorous fascia, inner membrane layer called scarpa's fascia. Deep fascia is absent here. Okay. Now we have external oblique muscles, internal oblique muscle, transverse abdominis, fascia transversalis, and peritoneal layer. There is one important question here. The question asks, where is the neurovascular plane is present? In anterior abdominal wall. It is present in between the internal oblique muscle and transverse abdominis. Okay, see this diagram. We show the layers of anterior abdominal wall. It is a longitudinal section of abdomen. Okay, from superficial to deep. Superficially, skin is there. Superficial fatty layer, deep membranous layer. Fatty layer is called camphorous fascia. Deep layer is called scarpa's fascia. Okay. Now external oblique muscle is there. Internal oblique muscle is there. Transverse abdominis, extra peritoneal flat, transversalis fascia, and parietal peritoneum. Okay. Now, coming to the external oblique muscle. It originates from the lower 8th rib. And insertion, it gets inserted into the fleshy fibers, which is inserted to the outer lip of the iliac crest. And another aponeurosis inserted to the linea alba. Okay. The aponeurosis, the lower part of aponeurosis get modified, means folded up and back, and form the inguinal ligament. Now, what is inguinal ligament? Inguinal ligament, which is modification of the aponeurosis of external oblique muscle, which is from the ASIS to pubic crest. Okay, which is extending from the anterior superior iliac spine to the pubic tubercle. This is an inguinal ligament. Okay. Now, other question is there. What is mid-inguinal point and what is midpoint of inguinal ligament? The mid-inguinal point is line drawn from the anterior superior iliac spine to the pubic symphysis. Okay, line drawn from the anterior superior iliac spine to the pubic symphysis. and the point in between them, it is called as mid-inguinal point. And now, what is midpoint of inguinal ligament? The midpoint of inguinal ligament is the ligament passes from the anterior superior iliac spine to the pubic tubercle, and the middle point of that ligament, it is called as midpoint of inguinal ligament. The significance behind the mid-inguinal point is the deep inguinal ring present 1.25 centimeter above the mid-inguinal point. Okay, the presence of deep inguinal ring present above the mid-inguinal point, 1.25 centimeter above. Okay, this is inguinal ligament. Coming to the extension of the inguinal ligament. Okay, extension of inguinal ligaments are reflected part of inguinal ligament, lacunar ligament, and pectinate ligament of Cooper. Okay, the reflected part of inguinal ligament is from the pubic tubercle to the linea alba. Okay, and the pectinate ligament, it is from the pubic tubercle to the iliopectineal line. See here, the important section present here, which is known as femoral sheet. This is a femoral sheet which has three compartments: medial compartment, intermediate compartment, and lateral compartment. The medial compartment is having medial compartment or femoral canal is there, which is having cloacated lymph node. Okay, cloacated lymph node is present in the medial compartment of the femoral sheet, and medial compartment having the vein called femoral vein, and the lateral compartment having the femoral artery. Okay, femoral artery. Now, coming to the one important structure, it is called as femoral ring. Okay, femoral ring present here in the lateral compartment, which is situated below and lateral to the pubic tubercle. It is a very important point. Femoral ring situated below and lateral to the pubic tubercle. The boundaries of femoral ring are anteriorly inguinal ligament, posteriorly pectinate line, medially lacunar ligament, laterally femoral vein. Okay, these are the boundaries of the femoral ring. Now, coming to the internal oblique muscle. This is an internal oblique muscle. Okay, the origin is inguinal ligament, iliac crest, and thoracolumbar fascia, and it get inserted into the aponeurosis of the internal oblique muscle is inserted to the 7th, 8th, and 9th costal cartilage. Okay, the fiber arises from the inguinal ligament. The forms roof goes medially and attached to the fibers of transverse abdominis. Okay, it forms the roof of inguinal canal called conjoint tendon, which is formed by internal oblique and transverse abdominis. Which is very important point. The fibers of internal oblique from the inguinal ligament forms the roof and goes medially and attached to the fibers of transverse abdominis. Okay, it is called as conjoint tendon. Now, coming to the transverse abdominis muscle, which is originated from the inguinal ligament, iliac crest, thoracolumbar fascia, and it get inserted. The fibers from the inguinal ligament form the arch roof, turn downward, and medially form an aponeurosis called conjoint tendon. Insertion: most of the fiber inserted into the linea alba. Understand once again, this is an inguinal ligament, ASIS, pubic symphysis, pubic tubercle. The fibers from the inguinal ligament, it form the roof. Okay, it form the roof. Internal oblique goes medially and attached to the fibers of transverse abdominis. Okay, attached to the transverse abdominis muscle, which is formed the conjoint tendon. Conjoint tendon is formed by internal oblique and transverse abdominis muscle. Okay, now what are the actions of these three muscles: internal oblique muscle, external oblique muscle, and transverse abdominis muscle? The action of these muscles are they maintain the abdominal tone. They increase the internal abdominal pressure during micturition, during defecation. Okay, then lateral flexion of trunk, external oblique and internal oblique. And what are the nerve supply of these muscles are T7 to T11 and subcostal trunk. The nerve supply of these muscles are T7 to T11 and subcostal trunk.